Welcome to everyone who is joining us today. Well, the days are getting longer and the tulips are in bloom, which means it's time for Aforza Spring 23 release webinar. My name is Candace Mueller. I'm the Vice President of Product Marketing here at Aforza, and I'm delighted to be joined by Nick Eels, who's our Chief Product Officer, as we showcase our latest Spring 23 innovations. These innovations are centered on commanding commercial control, and we are really excited to share with you all of the latest capabilities as part of this release. As we get started today, I'm going to first be looking at sharing some great updates around some recent industry accolades based upon our continuous innovations for consumer products. And then I'm also going to be sharing with you how Aforza's Spring 23 release is solving many of the key business challenges that we are hearing from you as our customers. I'm also going to update everybody on a special product launch that we are having regarding Aforza Studio next month that you want to definitely be aware of and register for the release webinar, because this is really focused on our new content management platform that's going to help you deliver business value around promotion compliance, brand detailing, in addition to many other use cases. So we'll take a little bit of time to look at that launch. Then I'm going to hand it over to Nick, who's going to take us through all of the Spring 23 innovations in detail and how they are helping you to drive more efficiency in the field, help drive profitability in your commercial programs, in addition to making certain that you have complete control on the actual field execution and commercial execution, regardless of channel. And then what we'll do before we conclude the webinar is we will wrap up with a brief Q&A, and then we'll go in to conclude the webinar. So let's go ahead and get started. So before we actually launch into the Spring 23 release, I'd like to take a moment and just share with you something that's hot off the press that we're very excited about here at Aforza. So we have just received 4 best-in-class distinctions from POI's Retail Execution Panorama Report. And these are really centered around mobile UX, data and analytics visualization, coaching, and internal collaboration. And we really believe that these distinctions were given to us and awarded to us based upon our path of continuous innovation. We've had 12 releases. So today we're sharing with you our 12th release out of 4 years. That's a lot of innovation we've taken to market in a very short amount of time, dedicated to consumer products. And I'd also like to take a step back and really acknowledge and celebrate the recent go-lives at AG Bar and all of your committed success and focus on how you're using Aforza capabilities to drive more efficient execution and helping to drive more profitability. I would also love to take a moment to acknowledge and welcome Dr. Wolf as part of our now Aforza customer success community. We are really looking forward to your journey with us and helping you to gain the benefits of industry innovation, but that we've also delivered to many of our other customers. So welcome, Dr. Wolf. Now what I would like to do is share with you a very special update. This is around our Aforza Studio launch that is happening next month. So we are taking to market a whole new product that is centered on content management that's end-to-end, that's going to help you with use cases such as promotion compliance, being able to support brand detailing, being able to support product information management much more efficiently. Today we're going to see a sprinkling of this capability around complete promotion compliance, but you're going to see everything that we're taking with this launch and the value that it offers you to help protect and improve margins in our launch webinar happening on May 23rd. So please mark your calendars, and you can either register by clicking on the link or scanning the QR code. Now, let's talk about our Spring 23 release. This is once again really focused on commanding commercial control. And the reason we came up with this release theme, if you will, is because we are answering in this release many of the questions we hear from you every single day about how do you drive more profitable sales execution and get the control into place in order to do so. How can you make certain that visits are very efficient, and making certain that your field teams have all of the information that they need in order to perform their work very, very efficiently. And then finally, how do you drive more compliance around your promotions and guarantee that compliance to drive profitability? So that's really what we're centered on regarding our Spring 23 release and answering those questions. So how are we answering those questions? Well, the first thing that we're going to focus on in today's webinar is the fact that we can help you protect sales margins by giving your field teams a complete console of information when they're in the field. We call these mobile consoles. We're also able to then have a controls library, which you're going to see today. This is going to give reps context when they start their day as to what they need to prioritize, in addition to when they're in their visits and what they need to do to conduct effective and efficient visits. We're also going to be featuring new auditing and order capture capabilities that's going to help you increase the speed and effectiveness of how your field teams are performing work during their visits. And we're also going to feature new telesales innovations where we bring in new promotions and offers to telesales agents to really give them the power to offer those promotions in the moment when they're speaking with customers. And then we're really going to conclude our third scenario with our new Aforza Studio capabilities, a little bit of a glimpse of that. This is where you're going to be able to drive profitability by accelerating cash flows, because you're going to be able to guarantee promotion compliance consistently every time and across every visit. So this is really what we are focused on as part of our Spring 23 release. What I would love to do is now transition over to Nick Eels, our Chief Product Officer, who's going to take us through these release narratives and capabilities in a much further detail. Nick, now over to you.
Thank you, Candice, and thank you everyone for joining us today on the Spring 23 release webinar. I'm really excited about some of the new innovations that we've built for you, and I can't wait to show you and talk you through them. As always, with each of our releases, our mission is to build more and more consumer goods functionality and add more value to the subscription that you're paying with Aforza. There are three key themes in the Spring 23 release that we focused on. The first was a brand new capability we call Aforza Consoles. So we've heard from a lot of our customers, a lot of our partners, that they wanted a more configurable way of changing pages within the mobile application. And they wanted to make them purpose-built, whether you're a sales rep, a delivery driver, a merchandiser, or something else. So with this new capability I'm going to talk you through, you can build out these best-in-class, efficient pages, giving your users a single point to view in the application to get all the details they need to execute their job. Our second key theme was about improving commercial experiences and commercial efficiencies. And we've done this by strengthening and deepening a lot of the key application components that our customers are using. So you're going to see lots of improvements through audits, through mobile order capture, through telesales. And I'm going to talk you through each of those areas today so I can show you what we've done to improve that experience for you. And last but not least, one of the key themes was about bringing content to the center field execution. So I'm going to talk to you briefly about our Aforza Studio application, which is a relatively new application which is focused on helping you achieve what you need using digital content. So without further ado, let's get right into it and take a look at our first section and our first demonstration. So as I mentioned before, we've heard from a lot of customers that when using the mobile app, they want to really, really customize that experience. They want to make it really configurable. They want the sales rep to have a completely different experience from the delivery driver. So with Aforza Consoles, you can now do that. Immediately when you open the application, your users are going to have the perfect experience and the perfect user interface based on what they need to do. Whether that's executing visits and placing orders, whether it's doing deliveries, whether it's showing brand detailing and merchandising information, they're going to have that single point of view where they can do all of those actions and look at all of the information. And what does this mean for you? It means you can build really, really efficient field execution experiences. You don't have to settle for a single experience for your different personas. You can have multiple different personas and multiple different experiences. You can even have different experiences depending on if your user is using a phone or a tablet. It also means you can protect your sales margins. So by putting the controls in front of your users, as soon as they enter the application, they're always at the forefront of their mind. They always have the buttons and the tools they need to protect the margins and to handle the processes in the way that you need them to adhere to. So this is all really exciting. What's more exciting about this in my mind is the fact that this is just a starting point. This is going to be release 1 of an ongoing console strategy that we're building. And through subsequent releases, you're going to see a large library of these user experience components be built up. And you can choose to use them or not use them depending on if they're useful to you as a company or not. So let me take you through a demonstration where I can show you exactly what this console is used for and how it's used and why we think it's so incredible and so important and valuable. So we're going to take a look at a demonstration. Meet Karina. She is a field sales rep, and her job really is to go out to the customers and offer the best products that she can possible. She's going to do stock checks while she's there. She's going to do a lot of important stuff while she's visiting with her customers. So to do that, she needs to be able to focus on what her activities are, what are the KPIs she needs to track, and what are the tools and assets available to her to help her do her job correctly. So in the demonstration, we're going to take you through a day in the life of Karina. So she's going to log into the application. She's going to start using the application to gather all the information she needs to execute her field visits that day. And then she's going to move into executing the visits. And when she does that, she's going to have all the actions and capabilities she needs to effectively execute that visit. So let me dive straight into the demonstration and you can see what we're talking about. So here I am in the mobile application logged in as Karina. And you can immediately see the experience I get is different from the out-of-the-box experience that you might be used to. So this is the new homepage console, and it's a completely configurable experience that Karina is now able to view and use. So when she logs into this page, she gets customized components and messaging and actions available to her based on her persona. So in the top left corner, there's a welcome message. It tells her the weather, and it lets her know, what's going on today. Immediately below that, we can see there's a competitor threat alert. So based on where she's going and based on the fact she's a sales rep, we're letting her know there's a competitor threat in the area and there's some additional promotions available for her. This is really critical information because she immediately starts the day with the right frame of mind, knowing that she might be in for a fight. On the right-hand side, at the very top, she can see her task summary. So as she's already completed a few visits, she can see those have been completed, she can see orders that she's placed, and then she can also has her virtual wallet showing how much money she's collected as well. Really critical information, so at a glance, she knows exactly where she is in that day. Back on the left, she can see the visits she still has to complete, so she's got 6 to do, she has 2 in progress, 2 completed, so this just keeps track of where she is and what she's up to. Below that, you can see the last sync. So this is just a component which lets her easily and quickly sync at any point during the day. Instead of having to go into the sidebar, it's now right in front of her. So she has that action available on her home screen. And then as we scroll down and start looking at the right, we can see there's a number of tools available to Karina to help her manage her day. The first tool she has is this brand catalog. So she's able to see, for instance, this month's promotions, a full product catalog, merchandise options, and she can simply click into one of these and it will open up the Aforza Studio experience where it then shows her that particular asset or group of assets. So in this case, she can see the latest promotion for today, and as soon as she's done reviewing that, she can click back and go straight back into the Aforza Field mobile experience. She also has her full dashboards and insights available to her. So for instance, she can see how she's doing in sales performance, she can see previous visit results, and she can also look at how promotions are performing as well in the field. So again, she can just click into one of these, the promotion optimization, click measure, and this is going to open up that dashboard offline for her immediately on her device, where she can see overall promotion performance. She can click through and see her product performance, so what revenue is being generated. And this could be at a company level, or it could be specific KPIs for Karina. This is completely configurable. And again, she can click back and she's now back on that console experience. And last but not least, you can see the actions on the left. These will let her launch into guided processes, so she can do a start of day process, an end of day process, or any other configurable process that you want to create as a company. So immediately, the homepage experience has provided so much more information to Karina. She's got all of the latest content available to her. She knows what's going on in the market, and she knows exactly where she is in her today's visits. Super useful, super informative. Let's go ahead and start a visit now. So I'm going to go into my to-do visits, and I'm going to start this visit at Fresh Start Shop Southeast. And when I do that, that's going to bring Karina through to the visit console. So again, this is a new configurable experience that can be used to build a set of components or tools that your user is able to have access to. So on here, the very first tools that we provide, and the ones you're probably most familiar with, we have the task list on the left, where everything is currently grayed out. And on the right-hand side, we have the visit location and check-in component. So the first thing I have to do when I start my visit, as always, is check in. So when I click check in, it's going to show me that I've checked in. My GPS location is in the wrong location because I'm not currently right at the store, but it's going to let me continue, and all the tasks on the left are now available to start. If I scroll down, I can see a number of other components that I have available to me again as well. So for instance, I have my order history, where I can see this specific outlet's order history, and with a click of a button, let me reorder that prior order and start on a very strong footing. I can see my guide results. So on the left-hand side, I can see last time I went here, we discussed a promotional contract, and we got the user to answer some questions, and we came up with some sort of joint business plan with that customer. And then again, as I scroll down, we can see on the left we have that same brand catalog, just so I have it when I'm accessing the visit as well. Right down the bottom, we have a sales history KPI dashboard. And then here on the right now, we've got visit actions. So again, these launch specific guides or other actions that you need to undertake as part of a visit. In this case, Karina is going to start by creating a new contract. She's speaking to the customer in the store. They want to follow up on that conversation from last week. So she's going to launch the create new contract guide. So now we're in that contract guide. We're going to be taken through a step-by-step process where Karina is prompted to enter all the information about this customer, gathering all the details needed to firm up that contract and make sure that the promotion goes smoothly. So as she moves through the process, she gets asked information about what sort of items need to be promoted. So in this case, it's going to be soft drinks and ice creams. So we're just going to enter some details here really quickly. What types of discounts do we want to add? So we're going to give an off-invoice discount. We're also going to give a fixed discount. And then in terms of payment terms, we're going to do 50% upfront, 50% on completion. And then on the next page, we have promotional merchandise that we might want to give. So in this case, they've already got a branded fridge freezer from us. So we're going to say one of those. We're not going to give a discount specifically here, but we're going to give them a discount on the display agreement. So we're going to say if you move that fridge to the front of the store and make sure that there's at least 20 stock in there at any one time, we're going to compensate you $500. And we're going to pay that in promotional stock. So then we can add additional things like employee support. So maybe they need some on-site training or additional promotion support. And then finally, we get them to accept the terms and conditions to complete the contract procedure. Right at the end then, we have access to see all of the different options that were selected as part of this in the summary view. We can see that display agreement where they said the fridge is going to be at the front of the store. We can complete it. And just like that, we've now completed the additional promotional contract visit guide, and Karina is able to continue the rest of her visit working through these tasks that she has to do, like capturing an order and performing audits. So that was just a really quick overview of the new consoles experience, but the thing to note here is that depending if you're a sales rep or if you're a delivery driver or a merchandiser, you can have completely different experiences. It's all done through a drag and drop designer, so you can make sure that your users have the most efficient experience possible. They've got the information they need. They've got the actions they need. And now very briefly, I just want to show you an alternative experience. So I've just shown you the field sales experience with Karina, but there's a lot of stuff on there. It's very sophisticated, a lot of information needed by Karina. But what if you have a very simple use case? You just have a driver that needs to do deliveries. You don't want to overly complicate things. This is what the experience would look like for them. Again, everything is configurable, the titles, the wording, the text, and importantly, what components they see and in what order. So in this case, the delivery driver just has a My Delivery section where you can see To Do, In Progress, Completed, and a button that lets him load his van at the start of the day. And that's it. So just a really good example of how you can use it for a sophisticated use case and also a really simple use case for delivery management as well. All right, let's jump into the next scenario. So now I want to talk about our second key theme, which is powering efficient commercial experiences. So as I mentioned before, we took a lot of feedback from our customers and our partners on areas that they were using the application that they felt needed enhancements, or they wanted enhancements to help make their lives more efficient and to help them with their commercial execution. So we put a big focus on our audits, on our order capture, and on our telesales in this release. So you're going to see in the demonstration how we're going to dramatically speed up the audit execution, whether that's doing stock checks or promotion compliance reviews. We're going to show you how we've improved telesales to add more capabilities around promotion eligibility, about smoothing the cart experience to allow you to enter things faster. And we're going to show you some of the enhancements in order capture on mobile that give you more key information during your order capture experience to make sure that you are upselling and you're getting the best deal possible with that customer. And all of this is really going to help you be more productive when you're carrying out your commercial activities, whether that's doing stock checks or placing orders. And when you are placing orders, this is hopefully going to help you increase your basket size as well, with relevant recommendations and also more information at your fingertips. So let's again dive into a demonstration and we can have a look at these processes. So in the second demonstration, we want to show you how Karina is able to perform her audits and orders faster and more efficiently than before. So we're going to pick up where we left off. She's started her visit. She's done a promotional contract agreement, and she now wants to go around and make sure that that promotion is being adhered to, the stock's in place, and she also wants to complete an order. Diving back into the mobile application, we can see that list of tasks that still needs to be completed, and we can see that promotional contract guide has been checked off at the bottom there. So they've agreed to do this promotion, and they've had a bit of time now to try and set the promotion up, and we are now going into the store and we're making sure that everything is as it should be. So the first thing we're going to do is do a promotion compliance check. So when we click this, it's going to take us into an audit. And it's going to let us check for the compliance on that promotion that we just set up with the customer. So the customer should have a branded fridge freezer. They should have ice creams or soft drinks in that fridge freezer. There should be a certain amount of them. And as I'm walking around the store, I'm trying to find this fridge freezer at the front of the store, and it's not there. So I can immediately go in and say, no, it's in the incorrect location. And I can say it was actually at the back of the outlet, and leave it at that, and I can check that off the list. Now, along with that, I can take a photo as evidence. So if I go to Studio and I click Create New, this is going to let me upload from my camera, upload from gallery, upload files. Now, I want to make sure that this is in real time, it's taken in the store, so we have real proof that the fridge freezer has been put at the back of the store and not at the front. So I'm going to take a new thing from my camera. And I've now uploaded that image as evidence of the fridge being in the wrong location and also being empty. There's nothing else in it. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm that, and I'm going to submit the audit. Great. Now I'm going to do a stock check. So again, I'm doing a new audit. This one's a stock check audit. And on here, I can see not only the promotional products, but I can see all the other products that I've sold them in the past as well. And this is going to let me go through and very quickly and easily enter details about their location, the shelf price, are they discounted correctly, what did they purchase them for, purchase date. We have a lot of information on here, and we can choose specifically what we want to show and what we don't want to show. This entire interface is much more efficient than it was before. I can see on this screen 8 or 9 assets at a time. I can quickly scroll up and down. I can filter and sort by name or location. I can choose assortments, categories, or brands. It's very, very easy to use and very quick. Along with this, I can also rearrange my products. So as I'm walking through a store, if I know that certain products are on aisle 1, for instance, and certain products are on aisle 2, I can simply flag these positions. And then when I complete it, this will help me rearrange and resort this entire list. So that I can be sure that as I'm walking through the store, as I'm going aisle by aisle, I have the products in the correct location so that I can make my journeys through the store much more efficient. And as I'm going through, I can check these off one by one. But what if I have hundreds? Well, we have a new check all button, so I can click check all, and Karina is able to check all of her audit assets immediately. And it's going to validate every single one of them as it goes through to make sure that there's no missing information and you have all the details correct. So within a couple of clicks, if nothing has changed in the store, I can be done my audit and I can move on to the next task. So I'm going to confirm that. We can see we've rearranged some products. We've assessed all the products. There's some that are low in stock, and I can go ahead and submit that as well. Great. I've now checked off a promotion compliance audit, a stock check audit, and I'm doing it in record time. So the last thing I'm going to do is capture a new order. And instead of creating a new order from scratch, I'm going to click on reorder on the bottom right here. And this is going to let me create a brand new order from a previous order. So it calculates the order we did last time and also checks everything's still valid. So the customer might have different pricing now. There might be different promotions available, different stock levels. So it just makes sure that everything is still valid when we start it. Now, I've started the order, and you can see that it's actually started the order from what they purchased last time, which was a branded fridge freezer and some ice creams as well. So we can start from the starting point, and we can continue adding more and upselling the customer, whether that is some alcoholic beverages, which we're getting a discount, or it's soft drinks. Very quick and easy to use the keypad to perform this order. In addition to this, I can see previous order quantities directly within the screen. So I can see that they've ordered a lot of ice cream before. They ordered 10, then 20, then 20. If I want more details, I can open that up and I can see the specific dates they've ordered specific products, and I can click reorder to enter the quantity on there as well. So again, it's just all about efficiency. It's making sure we're getting the best deal possible for this customer. We know exactly what they've bought in the past so we can upsell them again and just make it super easy for Karina and other sales reps to view that. In addition to all of these efficiencies, we also have the ability to add additional configurable information to this page. So two of the bits of information that Karina really needs to do her job are the on-shelf information. So how many of these products are currently stored on the shelf in the store. And this is taken directly from the audit information. So I can see that, there's a branded gondola, there's alcoholic beverages, there's lots of stuff currently on the shelf. And also we can see when they last purchased something. So in this case, we put the last purchase date front and center. So Karina knows if there's something that hasn't been purchased in a while, and we can perhaps try and upsell them again. These are just two examples, but you can add any other bit of information you want on here to make it relevant to your business and relevant for your sales reps. So once you've entered that information, you can go ahead and you can complete the order as normal. You can run through all of your actions to make sure that they're in credit, the invoices have been paid, and any other kind of configurable logic you want. We can get them to generate an invoice, sign it, and eventually confirm the order, ticking it off the list there in the tasks. So that was just a high-level overview of some of our new commercial capabilities, whether that is the new efficient audits, whether it's having more information during your order capture, whether it's being able to reorder. We think this is great, and Karina was able to do her job in record time. So now I just want to swap over and show you the telesales experience. And we're going to log in as a telesales agent. And the use case here is this customer that we visited, we've placed the order for them, but now they want something to change. So they ring in and they ask to add some additional products to the cart, and we're going to go through that process and show you how it is conducted. So now we're in the telesales experience. So that customer has rung in. They said Karina's placed an order with us earlier. She did a great visit with us, but we've forgotten some things and we want to add those to the order. So the telesales agent is able to open the order and see exactly the same information and order details that Karina put into the system. And they can very quickly and easily start adding additional products in here, whether it's additional soft drinks or alcoholic beverages, and just check those off and add them to the cart. As they're doing this, the sales rep, or the telesales agent, I should say, can go and they can start sorting the cart using the new sort. So they can see the latest things added to the cart first, or they can see the oldest things added to the cart, etc. They can also filter down the catalog by the order history. So if the customer keeps on ordering the same things again and again, they can filter that catalog down to just the past few orders. So they have a really small subset, a small list that they can work from to place an order quickly. The other thing they can see as they're going through here is they can see these new little promotion indicators. So as I'm speaking to the customer, I'm able to say, hey, did you know that those alcoholic beverages you purchased, they're actually on promotion? And if I click on that promotion icon, I can show them exactly what promotions are available. So there's this great VIP alcoholic beverages promotion that you are eligible for, Mr. Customer, and you actually get 25% off your alcoholic beverages when you add this. So I can go ahead and I can actually click on the plus here, and if the customer is happy with it, we can convert those product SKUs into a promotion. So when I click on the plus, I get the promotion, and you can see it's already been pre-filled with the products we have in the cart. And we can say, hey, Mr. Customer, would you like some additional products now because there's 25% off? And they are willing to purchase some additional ones because they're getting that great deal. So we're actually going to be upselling them and generating more revenue as part of this promotion. So once we've added all the SKUs, we can click Add Promotion. And this is going to add the promotion to the cart, and it's going to remove those other SKUs out of the cart themselves and put them in that promotion. And we could go ahead and we could see if they want to do that for all of their other product SKUs as well. So great way to upsell the customer, and gives the telesales agent all the information they need to very quickly and easily confirm that order, get more value from the order, and make the customer happy. Okay, so last but not least, I want to talk to you about Aforza Studio and how we're going to bring content to the center of field execution. So if you're not aware, Studio is a new platform application that we've built that allows you to store and manage all of your digital assets. It lets you do some amazing things like promotion compliance, merchandising, detailing, augmented reality management. It's fantastic, and there's a ton of use cases that we don't have time to go through now, but Candice is going to talk to you about a Studio dedicated webinar that we're going to be launching in May. But for now, I want to show you a really specific use case based on what we were just doing with Karina. So it's about automating proof of compliance and making sure that when you're in the store and when you're capturing images, that you're able to properly audit them, you're able to properly verify that the images are correct, and you're able to push those to your third parties, whether it's manufacturers or other third parties, and making sure they have access to those digital assets as well. So why are we doing this? We're giving you a fully secure and traceable compliance application. So you can be sure that when you're taking a photo in the store, that we're able to properly use that and leverage that in our compliance checks. And we're also managing the platform for you so that you can take as many of these photos as you like. And it's going to be very, very easy and cost effective for you as a business. And we know how important these proof of performance and proof of compliance photos are. So we're making sure that you have that dedicated system that manages it for you. So it's probably a little easier if I walk through a demonstration and I'll show you what we mean. So we're going to be looking at a different persona. So meet Sophie. Sophie is our compliance manager. So she goes in and she makes sure that after the field reps have taken their photos, that everything is compliant and everything is above board. So to do that, she needs a simple and easy way to manage those audits, those visits. And then if she ever does follow-up in store, she needs to be able to talk to the customer, show them why there's compliance issues, and perhaps show them how it should be set up or how they rectify those issues. So let's dive into the demonstration. We're now logged in as Sophie, and Sophie is taking a look at this audit, this promotion compliance audit, that was executed in the field by Karina earlier. So she can see the basic details of the audit, the type, when it was submitted, but importantly, she can also click on the Studio tab, and she can see all the files or all the images that Karina took as part of that audit. So she can see there's a compliance issue here with an empty fridge. She can click preview, and this is going to open up that image. This is the exact same image that Karina took in the field. She'll also note that right down the bottom here, it's been watermarked. So we know exactly when it was taken, where it was taken, and as part of what visit. So this is super important because it gives the compliance check validity and makes sure that there's confidence in what they're looking at. So Sophie wants to get a bit of a closer look on this, so she can actually click View in Studio, and this is going to open up the dedicated Studio interface where she has a much easier time at looking at all the assets and managing all the collateral. So she can see here, this is certainly an empty fridge, and she's going to add the non-compliant tag on here, which is now going to be added to this, and it's going to register this as something that needs to be pushed out to a third party for inspection. While she's here, she's easily able to go to the overall asset catalog where she can see all of the different information she needs. She can look at previous visits and look at more compliant photos. She can modify and manage everything from here. She can sort and filter and search. So she has full access to all of these images and all of the digital assets ready at her fingertips. So Sophie decides she's going to follow up with this customer directly. She's going to go into the store and she's going to talk to them about the compliance issue and show them visually how it needs to be set up to manage this issue and make sure that everyone gets paid. So when she's in the field, she has access to that same Studio application from her mobile device. So on here, she's using a tablet to view that same information. She could go in and she could see those same visit photos, the same images as before. She could go and view that compliance image, and she's able to show that to the customer and say, here's the issue, here's why there's a problem. Look, this was taken during the visit earlier. She's also able to go to her customer details, and she can actually go in and she can start talking about the contract or the joint business plan that they have with this customer to make them clear, to make sure they're clear on the stipulations as part of that contract that was collected earlier. And if the customer has questions about how it should be set up, what should it look like, where does it need to be in the store, she's able to very quickly and easily go to her merchandise or her planograms and bring one up as an example of how it should be placed in the store and how it should look. And more than just that, she can open up the augmented reality 3D model and she can show them directly on her iPad how it should be placed in the store and what it will look like when it's placed there. So let me give you a little look at that. Okay, so we're going to open up our merchandising catalog, and in here we've got a number of different 3D models. I'm going to look at the merchandising fridge. So we can then view this directly in the office in this case, but in a store with the supermarket with the customer, and I can place the 3D model in the store at the end of the gondola, at the front of the store. I can spin it round, and then once I've put it in the best position, I can start walking around it with the customer and say, hey, Mr. Customer, are you happy with this position? Or do you agree with the arrangement of products we've put here in the planogram? And once they're happy with it and we've walked around it and they've agreed to it, we can take a photo. So we can stop it and we can say, great, let's grab this photo, let's put it back into Studio. And now the customer has, again, a contractual stipulation and a proof of performance where we need to place it. So fantastic. So now the customer has a great idea of what it should look like, where it needs to be. They've come to an agreement about the compliance issue, and she can go back and she can take a new photograph and upload it into Studio to prove that it's compliant. So there are the 3 demonstrations I wanted to show you today. I think you agree there's a lot of really powerful features and functionality in there. From our new consoles capability, where you can create brand new configurable experiences for your field teams, through to our commercial experiences with audits and order capture and how we've improved those and made the experience even faster and more efficient and more powerful. And then on to the digital content and how you go about bringing digital content to the center of your experiences. And I've just shown you one snippet with the auditing and the promotion compliance, but that's just one of many use cases we're supporting out of the box with our Studio application.
Thank you, Nick, for that very powerful overview of the Spring 23 release. And including the demonstrations that you showcased to really bring those innovations to life. Before we move on to Q&A, I'd just like to remind everybody what we looked at as part of the Spring 23 showcase. First off, we saw how Aforza mobile consoles and customer consoles gives your field teams the information they need in order to start their day effectively because they know where they need to prioritize their day. In addition, it gives them the context within customer visits to make certain that you protect sales margins. We also saw the controls library and how that gives you flexibility in how you tailor those experiences. Next, we looked at a unified auditing and order capture experience to really drive speed and efficiency in the field. And we saw how new promotion capabilities in telesales make certain that telesales teams are able to provide customers with the most relevant offers in every single customer conversation. And then we concluded with a glimpse of our new Aforza Studio capabilities for promotion compliance to help you accelerate cash flows and drive profitability by guaranteeing commercial compliance every time. I would just like to remind everyone of our significant event happening in May for our Aforza Studio launch. You do not want to miss this event. We're going to show you our latest capabilities for promotion compliance, product information management for PIM, in addition to how you can detail brands very consistently through a unified content platform that really helps you drive execution of content in the field. And this is going to help you to protect and improve margins. So please sign up for the launch webinar via the link below or scan the QR code. We are so excited to host you for our Aforza Studio launch event happening on Tuesday, May 23rd. Now what I'd like to do is open it up for Q&A. Please don't hesitate to ask any of your questions. You can just come off of mute or you can submit your questions via the chat. I'll pause here to answer any of your questions.